getting answers from all across Northern California. This is the CBS 13 News at 5.
Tonight, Northern California has a visitor this holiday weekend, a heat wave. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Marissa Perlman. The state is now asking Californians to conserve energy to keep your lights on. CalISO is asking you to pre-cool your home to 72 degrees overnight and in the morning. And between 3 and 9, turn your AC to 78 degrees or higher. But could we see more rolling blackouts before Labor Day? CBS 13's Heather Jansen is live for us in Sacramento getting answers tonight. Hey, Heather.
Hey, good evening, Marissa. Well, at this point, we checked CalISO's website, and they say there's no strain on the power grid, at least not yet. Of course, this flex alert was issued only hours ago. Still, this heat bringing people outside. If I can have Wes pan over here and show you plenty of people out on the water here at Discovery Park trying to keep cool.
Tired of being in the house. Tired of being in the house.
Jessica Smith and her family doing what they can to conserve energy at home by getting out of it. One of many hitting up the river along Discovery Park. Rochelle Mahaffey and her family headed north from Atwater to beat the heat.
Trying to stay cool, stay in the river most of the time, so it's hot.
And some come here from as far as the Bay Area.
You know, the heat's different, but it's really hot out there, like burning hot.
Burning heat a concern for some, especially those in fear of facing another round of rolling blackouts. Last month, extreme heat turned the power off, prompting a new proclamation from the governor, now allowing power plants to create more energy. But here at Discovery Park, people like Jessica are not concerned about the heat wave and welcoming the last of the summer sun.
We know how to stay cool and be safe, so we're not worried about it. I love the heat.
And back out here again, plenty of boats and people along the river just taking in this last of the summer sun this holiday weekend and doing what they can to stay cool. Of course, for those at home, this flex alert, as Marissa said, means to keep your ACs up and avoid using any major appliances at this point. Marissa?
All right, Heather, thank you. We expect to see some packed beaches throughout the weekend. And PG&E says power may be shut off as soon as Labor Day because of wildfire risk. So at this point, these are the counties that could be impacted: Alpine, Amador, Calaveras, Mariposa, and Tuolumne County. They'll shut off something we are looking at very closely as we talk triple-digit temperatures and potentially record-breaking heat. Jordan Segundo is here with us tonight tracking that. Hey, Jordan.
That's right, Marissa. We'll likely break some records, especially tomorrow. Now, we are forecast to get up to 111 degrees in downtown Sacramento, and that could break that all-time September record, which is 109. Now, normally this time of the year here in the downtown area, we should be seeing 90s on the board, so we are well above that average. Now, right now, we've got triple digits all across the valley floor. 103 out in Stockton, 100 here in Sacramento, Marysville, 101 Vacaville, 100 down in Modesto. Today's records are closer to 105, 108, so today's very hot and warm, but not quite breaking the records today. We'll definitely be keeping track as we head into our Sunday. But look at this, most locations all seeing a big jump in our temperatures, especially along San Francisco at 16 degrees. And our overnight temperatures won't be bringing us much relief as well. We lose that Delta breeze, we lose the wind. So heading into the overnight hours, we're looking at temperatures into the 80s out towards Grass Valley, upper 70s in Auburn, and then low to mid 70s expected here in the valley. That's a big difference compared to the upper 50s that we typically see. Coming up in our 7-day forecast, we'll show you when we'll finally see relief. And then we got fire weather concerns that will be in place. We'll talk more about that coming up in our full weather. Marissa?
All right, Jordan, thank you. And some of you have plans to hit the road this holiday weekend to enjoy those final days of summer. But after seeing spikes in COVID-19 cases after other holiday breaks, health officials are now warning the pandemic could get worse if people aren't careful.
We saw a surge after Memorial Day. We saw a surge after the 4th of July. So if that's any indication, we're going to see something similar.
We use Labor Day as a way to take the day off, but unfortunately the virus doesn't.
Yeah, there are more than 6.2 million confirmed coronavirus cases right now and almost 190,000 deaths in the U.S. Officials are warning those numbers could spike if Americans on the move this weekend don't take those safety precautions. And tonight, here in California, state public health leaders are hoping you cancel your party plans this weekend in a new ad targeting groups seeing spikes in coronavirus cases, including Black and Latino communities. The state is asking people to avoid big gatherings. Leaders with Sacramento County worry if you don't listen, our area could see another spike.
We have seen the experience from previous holiday weekends where we actually saw a spike. This year, it's different, and we need to maintain the vigilance so that we can get through this.
And with the extreme heat, county health officials also say people will want to get together inside, but that's also where the virus can easily spread. They're warning, even if you feel healthy, play by the rules and be sure to keep your distance. Now to this, a tragic discovery along the Sacramento River. Sacramento police say they found a man's body there near Old Town just before 9 this morning. The victim died of an apparent stab wound. Police are now calling this a homicide investigation. At this point, detectives believe this man was homeless. They're asking any witnesses to give them a call and offering a reward for any tips that can help them solve this case. New video tonight shows the Placer County Sheriff's Office rescuing a woman here on the American River. They responded to the Middle Fork just before 2:30 on Wednesday. A woman was swept away by this current and ended up stranded on a rock in Murderer's Bar. The dive team here pulled her to safety, and they want to remind you tonight, that the river swells around this time, around midday, and you should be careful if you're looking to go for a swim this weekend. Some tense moments in Lodi this morning between protesters calling to defund the police and a group of pro-Trump demonstrators. Now, this got heated when members from both groups confronted each other and started yelling. Law enforcement officers here eventually formed a line between the two sides, and despite the tense moments, thankfully, no one was hurt. And protests have swept the nation since the police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Now they've stretched into their 4th month this Labor Day weekend. Michael George has the latest now from New York.
Protesters gathered near Churchill Downs as the 146th Kentucky Derby was getting underway Saturday afternoon. Demonstrators are calling for justice after the police shooting death of Breonna Taylor in her Louisville apartment in March. In Portland, Oregon, police are preparing for the 100th night of consecutive protests.
I understand that they're tired, but at the same time, we're tired of you killing black people.
Police say rocks were thrown at them on Friday night, and they declared an unlawful assembly, arresting more than 24 people.
They declare us an unlawful assembly/riot like all the time just for standing here.
Protesters marched through the streets to a police building. Police say some chanted, "Burn it down."
Move to the sidewalks now.
During the night, the crowd was ordered to disperse.
Failure to comply with these directions may subject you to arrest, citation, and/or the use of crowd control agents, including but not limited to tear gas and impact weapons.
In Rochester, New York,
What's his name?
the death of Daniel Prude sparked a 3rd night of protests, this time marked by fireworks, sporadic clashes with police, and the apparent use of tear gas and pepper spray. Footage released earlier this week showed Prude's fatal encounter with officers back in March when they put a spit hood over his head and shoved his face into the ground. Prude stopped breathing and was later taken off life support. Friday, Rochester police also declared an unlawful assembly and ordered the crowd to disperse.
Yeah, New York State plans to establish a grand jury to investigate Daniel Prude's death. 7 officers involved in that incident have been suspended. And here in Sacramento, there are more calls to defund Sacramento police. On Tuesday next week, city leaders will be talking about a proposal to move $15 million in funding, some of which goes to both Sacramento police and fire departments. Sacramento has already agreed to overhaul its 911 system, sending some non-criminal calls away from police. Supporters of President Trump took to the water to hold another boat parade on the Sacramento River today. Now, this event was hosted by the Patriot Network and California Delta magazine. The parade started at the Tower Bridge, went past Old Town Sacramento to the Virgin Sturgeon, and then over to the American River. And in New York State, hundreds of people got together for the second Trump flotilla and back the blue float on Oneida Lake this morning. Many people here were seen without masks during this big gathering. And a boat parade was held today in Minnesota as well. People took to the river bridges, waving flags and watching the parade. A paraglider carrying an American flag was seen here soaring over all of these parading boats. Well, new at 5, after weeks of not knowing what distance learning may look like, Sac City Unified has put out their distance learning plan for the school year. Now, the district says in order to meet the academic, social, and emotional success of its students, they're now moving forward with a full virtual learning plan without an agreement with the Sacramento City Teachers Association.
Our teachers union declared impasse. This means that our negotiations over distance learning have stalled. And that's accurate, because we could not in good conscience accept their last proposal. But impasse doesn't mean that our students will not receive instruction as required by law during the 2021 academic year.
A hearing from the district superintendent there. The new plan is set to start this Tuesday. Students returned to online instruction this past Thursday on what the district called a slow start schedule. Well, crews are still battling Northern California wildfires, but leaders say first responders are getting closer to containing the biggest ones across our region. The LNU lightning complex fires have burned more than 375,000 acres. They're now 89% contained. And in the South Bay, the SCU lightning complex fires have burned almost 400,000 acres and are now at 86% contained. The Claremont fire in Plumas County burned more than 24,000 acres and is now at 50% containment. And the number of homes destroyed in Solano County from the LNU complex fire now passing the 300 mark. We know another 60 were damaged as well. Well, next at 5, a call for clean waterways in Sacramento to protect marine life after a sad sea lion photo goes viral. And a CHP helicopter swoops in just in time to help stranded hikers. The daring rescue caught on camera. Well, news happening where you are. Take out your phone, grab some video, and let us know about it. You may see your video tonight on the news at 10. We'll be right back.